Then James catches her leaving like, what happened? He killed himself. And he sees the suit in her bag and she like, hey, look at me. Look into my eyes. I'm the captain now. This is the way. He killed himself.
Welcome back to Nonstop XP, and first off, before we start the video, I want to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Like, you guys actually helped me get to 1,000 subscribers before the year was over. I'm so fucking thankful, right? Like, I never thought it would happen. I am going to do a dedicated 1,000 subscriber special video. That's a separate video. I'm going to do that on New Year's Day. And I just want to start this video off by saying thank you. But anyways, for the main video today, we are going to be talking about The Invisible Man. We are going to be watching The Invisible Man, a review slash roast of that movie, because to be honest, when it first came out, everyone hyped it up, and I was like, it's average. Right? I even enjoyed the older ones more than this one. Just because so many things in this one was just off. But anyway, we're going to be checking this out via a channel called Hi Boy that I just happened to come across, and I love it when I find just these random channels that do really good content. He does like a review slash roast of the movie, and I agree with most of the points he have, because these are the things I be shouting while watching the movie. But anyway, without any further delay, let's jump into the video.
Welcome to The Invisible Man. Boy, oh boy, what do you think this one's gonna be about? Starting right off, we got Cecilia, the red-nosed toucan-faced bitch, sleeping in the bed, wakes up.
Oh my god. He called her toucan-faced bitch. Yeah, yo, she is pretty average looking. She is kind of scary in the dark, you know, like, no offense to the actress. Don't take this personally, you guys. It's just a fucking comment. Yeah, shut the fuck up, you pieces of shit. Right? Even one can say I am average looking as well. I am very much average, slightly above average, maybe a smidge, like 0.5% or something. I don't know. Anyway, back to the movie.
Get some droogs, throws out some drooged water. Is that sink in the bedroom, or is the bathroom just really open? Never mind. She packs some shit and passes by her asshole boyfriend's optics lab or whatever. Turns off a bunch of cameras except for the one that's on him. Turns off some alarms too and tries to leave super silently, but meets Zeus the doggo and feels bad for him. And after she takes off his collar, he bumps into a car with the most sensitive car alarm ever.
Yo, I said this exact same thing. When I first watched this, I was like, bro, the dog barely touched the car. Yo, what?
Or I remember car alarms being more dim-witted than they really are. Whatever, the car alarm goes wee, and she jumps over a fence. Asshole Adrian wakes up, and her sister comes along to pick her up. Cecilia drops the droogs somehow, although I just saw her pack it in the bag and zip it up nice and tidy. Whatever. Psycho Adrian comes along, breaks the window like, you can't do this, you can't leave, get back here. But too late, bitch, they're gone. 2 weeks later, she's at James's house, hiding out because he hunky chunky good guy cop protector man, and she being a pussy because she paranoid her ex is watching her, so she puts nail polish over her laptop's camera. Bitch, what? Who does that? Just tape a piece of paper over it. What the hell does it matter with you? Doesn't matter. Her sister comes over telling her that Adrian is dead. Hooray, you can chillax now, okay? She explains to them that he was abusive, controlling, wouldn't let her leave. He hit her, he wanted to have a baby, and she secretly took birth control pills. Moving on. Actually, no, wait. Why is all this shit coming out now? It's been 2 weeks. You seriously didn't say anything for 2 weeks?
This is also something that I said. I was like, bro, the guy is a cop. The guy that you're staying with is a cop, and you didn't like file a report. You didn't like try in any way to get this other fucking dickhead arrested. Like, look at the times we live in now. You could actually say this guy sneezed in your direction and he sexually assaulted you, and he'd be in jail for life. Like, let's not pretend, man. Like, but anyway, movie logic. Okay, movie logic.
Not even to your sister? The hell? Whatever. Next, they get a letter from Adrian's dickhead lawyer brother. They go over to the dickhead lawyer brother. He tells them that Adrian left her a cool 5 milli in his will. Hails, yeah, brother. She goes back to Gems, buys him a nice spanking brand new shiny ass ladder, and offers to pay for his daughter's school, university, college, whatever. They're all 3 of these are named school in America for some fucking reason. Cut to Kikilia doing female stuff, looking at clothes and shit. She gets spooked. The next morning, she making bacon and egg. Jams asks her to wake up Sydney for school. Now is this middle school or college? I scream internally, for I do not know.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
doesn't
knife gets
matter.
taken away and the stove mysteriously turns up on a Tuesday. Sorry for having fire happen and the kitchen almost catches a light. Skip to that night. Kiki be doing laptop stuff. Here's some spooks. Goes to investigate. Then the front door opens up behind her somehow. And this bitch for some reason doesn't think anything of this and steps outside. Then we see an invisible man breathing behind her. At this point, I'm pretty sure everybody gets it. Adrian ain't dead. He's invisible and he's fucking with her. But other than the suit making some random noises here and there of crickets having sex or whatever. You know, invisible suit noises. Other than that, how the hell is he not making any other noise? Because she makes a bunch of noise walking on squeaky parts of the wooden floor. Also, just
that was
walking in
another
general
question
makes
that I
noise.
had.
How is she only hearing his suit make invisibility noises? Anyway, she's sleeping in bed with Sydney. Then the covers get taken off and a bunch of flashes happen. She gets freaked out by a mannequin Sydney has in her room. And
There's a part of this movie where like she throws paint on the guy, and I'm not sure if he puts this in the video, but it was so stupid, bro. It was so stupid. Take this from a guy who painted houses for a living for about 2 years. Even if it's water paint and it goes on your hand, right, or a piece of plastic or anything like that, and you go wash it off, it doesn't come off completely. It leaves a lot of residue, right? So when I saw that in the movie, I was like, bro, that's dumb. Y'all don't know how paint works.
And I get freaked out by my chair in the middle of the night. You know, she has a fucking whole ass mannequin in her room. Damn, the balls, man. So Kiki gets up to get the covers and sees an ass imprint in the chair and does the big great move of throwing the blanket over the chair to check if someone's there, but no one is there. So I'm checked, all done. You can check that off the list. She go bed now, but someone steps on the cover, and for some reason she forgets her big brain move she just did a second ago and does not throw the cover over him to reveal his invisible ass and fucking spear him into the wall. No. Instead, she freaks out and calls him Jams. He be like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Well, listen, let's be honest. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're like investigating a dark something you saw in the corner of your room, and then something steps on the covers. You're probably gonna freak out the first time as well. You're probably gonna think it's a ghost or some shit, right? But this also leads me to the question when I was watching the movie the first time. I was like, how are you his longtime girlfriend, and you haven't figured out what he's working on, right? I mean, you passed through the lab earlier, so I'm assuming that, you know, you had access to the house and stuff like that, and through being his girlfriend, you should probably have an idea of what he's working on. Like, all of the equipment and stuff is like right there in the lab. I'll put a picture of it here. Like, so many questions, bro, so many questions.
Dumb slap, the thing there, I can't talk because I'm flustered. Shut the fuck up, go to sleep. Next day, she goes for a job interview, and this dashing young fellow who kind of looks like a pedophile flirts with her a bit and asks to see her portfolio. She obliges his request but finds her shit gone, then gets up and faints. She go to hospital, okay? They make blood test, okay? She go home, okay? She takes shower, and she probably fainted because of all the diazepam in her system, which is the same drug she used to drug Adrian with the night she ran away. And she be like, hold up, wait a minute, what diazepam? Then she sees the same bottle that she dropped the night she ran away from Adrian with his blood on it. So she goes to his dickhead lawyer brother and tells him to make him stop. He's invisible. Some bottle, some. I will find you. Some. Quenes sombra. Okay, you crazy. Okay, because he dead. Look at these pictures. Look at him. He dead. Then she goes to her sister, who's mad at her because she received some hate mail from her, and she's like, I didn't send no goddamn email. You liar. You a lying bitch. Bye ho. And when she goes home, she checks her email and sees that someone sent some to her sister from her account. It is Adrian.
I kind of want to see what those emails were, because like, what could your sister say to you that's so bad that you just abandon her in her time of crisis, basically? Like, you know,
That motherfucker. So she curls up into the fetal position and cries herself to, I don't know. She doesn't cry to sleep. Where the fuck am I going with this? Moving on. Kidney walks in, tries to cheer her up, and says, let's eat some cake. So she agrees, and they try to get up. Then Kidney gets smacked across the room because Adrian hit her. And Kidney thinks Cecilia did it. So she's like, Dad, come in, Cecilia fucking hit me, that cunt. So James comes in to take his daughter away from the crazy person and take her to a safer place. They leave the house and leave Kiki alone. And she freaked out, and she goes, all right, Adrian, where you at? Square up, motherfucker. Come on, face me. Mano y mano, motherfucker. Come on, bitch. Let's throw hands, motherfucker. Then she throws coffee all over the floor to see his footsteps and whatnot, which is another solid idea of hers, but she totally overlooks the 100% better option, which is flour, you know, because this is white stuff. This is a dark floor background, so it's gonna be easier to see. So once again, you're a fucking retard. Anyway, she starts talking to Adrian like, why me? Why must you hurt me this way? Then she calls his phone, which turns out to be in the attic, and she goes up to the attic.
I think a better option would be glitter, because glitter, you know, it takes forever to get off. You can't really dust glitter off of stuff, right? And especially if he's like in a suit or something, he'd probably have to go get like power washed in order for glitter to come off. So like she should have just casually passed by one of those arts and crafts places and just bought a bunch of glitter, bro, and just have it in her room or something.
Without any weapon, fucking moron. And she finds his phone with pictures of her sleeping on it and the knife
Yeah,
that he took
that's
from the
creepy.
kitchen. But these keys are apparently not part of the equation here. I don't know how. They're not an object of interest. Although they look suspiciously clean, and also who the fuck leaves keys in an attic? Or maybe this is a normal thing. I don't know. I don't have an attic. Whatever. She gets
Yep.
a surprise message on his phone, then turns around and throws a can of paint at the attic hole, revealing him, and
Yo,
follows a trail
yo.
of paint. And somehow, in the span of 15
Yo.
seconds, that's right, I timed this shit. He got all the paint off by washing himself in the kitchen sink. Fucking impossible shit,
That's
bro.
no-
I
it's
struggle getting 1
nonsense,
centimeter of
man.
paint off myself. Gotta deep scrub that shit. Fucking power wash that
Exactly.
crap out of myself. This some bullshit, man. Who cares? He's invisible again, and she has a fight with him in which she does not use this
Like
plastic covering. over-
zero residue on this man, like zero. He's just back to being completely invisible. Like this suit has no nooks and crannies, no crevices, no nothing. It's just perfectly smooth or something. But when you see the suit later, you could see that there's a bunch of like valleys and stuff. You know what I mean, man? Like it would have still had paint on it.
Here, the same way she used the blanket over the chair so she can identify him and see him, have an easier time fighting him. Because once again, she needs a new brain. But whatever, she somehow fights him off and calls an Uber. And she goes to his shitty minimalist house to snoop around his lab and shit and finds seemingly nothing. But then she fingers an iPad and a suit with a bunch of googly eyes appears, and it's kind of trypophobia triggering. Then Doggle, who still lives here somehow, starts barking at something. So she
Yeah, look at
Goes
look
to
at
hide
this,
triple
bro. Look at this
phobia
suit.
triggering. Then Doggle, who still lives here somehow, starts barking.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Right? There's holes and these weird things like painting coming off of that shit easily, bro.
At something, so she goes to hide the suit in a vent in the closet somewhere just before he
This was another thing that pissed me off. It's like, okay, how many of these suits did you make? One. And I'm assuming the suit is like millions of dollars, right? So you would keep track of it if one disappeared. So like let's be honest, man. Like if she stole one, he would do everything within his power to find that shit. I was like, it's so dumb that she just hid it in I think it was like a storage part of the house or something like that. I'm like, what? Wait, doesn't he have like cameras all over his place? Like, isn't he like super paranoid? Like, didn't the cameras pick up any of these things? Like, come on, man. Hey, bro.
gets there. And once he does, he throws her around, but Doggo protect, and she gets back into her Uber and gets away safely. And the main thing that
Good
pisses me off
Doggo.
here is the vent that she hid the suit in, and she also hid the stuff that she was running away with the day she ran away. How does he not know about this? Isn't this his house? Isn't he super smart or something? Also, you'd think he'd know she took the suit by now, right? And hid it somewhere. Because I'm 100% sure he has like an
Come
inventory
on,
system on his
man.
computer to tell him that his stuff is gone. But no, he doesn't notice it's gone, and he doesn't look for it because this fucktar is also retarded. Anyway, she sets up a meeting with her sister in a public place and tries to tell her all the shit that's been happening to her and prove to her that he's invisible.
Okay, I have to give her props. Her acting is on point. She actually acts like a person that's properly going through it. But at the same time, the way, bro, just watch it. Just look at it for yourself and tell me if something like this happens to you, if you would react in this way.
And fucking with her with a suit. But before she can continue, Adrian shows up with the knife he stole and slices her sister's throat and puts the knife in her hand to make it look like she killed her sister, and she gets arrested. And where
All right, so let's play that back real quick, right?
prove to her that he's invisible and fucking with her with a suit. But before she can continue, Adrian shows up with the knife he stole and slices her sister.
Right. So, have you ever have you ever been chilling and someone yanked your arm? When they yank your arm, as an automatic reflex, you tense up, right? You tense up and you try to like resist in the opposite direction of whoever is yanking your arm, right? Like it's an automatic response for most people, but I guess she's the only one on this planet who operates like this. Right, and then when he puts the knife in her hand, I guess she felt like, okay, maybe I should hold this thing. Maybe I should like grab onto this thing. Like, this was a dumb scene. It looked cool. It looks like one of those holy shit moments if you turn your brain off. But
his throat and puts a knife in her hand to make it look like she killed her sister, and she gets arrested. And where exactly was this knife hidden? Does the suit have kitchen knife sized pockets or something? He probably hid it under the table or something. I was being an asshole. But no way, how the hell did he get it into the restaurant unseen then? How just a floating knife through the restaurant? That's weird. Maybe he has a box, an invisible box for said purposes. I'm overthinking this way too much. Oh my god, let's just keep going.
Maybe
she gets
he
thrown
hid it
into a
up his
mental asylum.
sleeve or
Adrian shows up
something.
and says, surprise. Then James and this other dude come to question her, and she tells them that she has something that will prove her story, and they be like, what is it? She says, I can't tell you right now. He's listening. No, you can tell him that it's a suit. You just can't tell him where, because you told your sister it was a suit, and he was there and he killed her, so he already knows that you have a suit. Whatever, though, later on, the nurses tell her that she's preggo, and it's pretty recent as well. Like, this happened less than a month ago, and she's very shooketh. Then she has a meeting with dickhead brother, whatever his name is, because now that she's a criminal and a murderer or whatever, she can have the 5 milli. Some legal stuff, sign here, and it'll be easier. Or you can call him and tell him you'll have the baby, but she like, fuck you, and steals a pen and some glue tack while he picks up the shit that she threw on the floor. Cut to later on in her room, the nurse leaves, and she goes into the shower, gets a pen from a secret
this
hiding
is why
spot,
she
and starts to cut herself.
tricked
So
him,
Adrian stops her, and she goes,
That ain't the invisible cunt.
and starts stabbing away at her. Now, just a few things before we move on. First of all, how did she steal and hide the pen without invisible Adrian, who's always watching, noticing? And second of all, she cut vertically.
Another thing too is how is it that when she stabbed him, the holes isn't visible, right? Like I'm pretty sure this is in some type of nano advanced, super advanced futuristic technology that heals itself, because later on it starts glitching, right? So why isn't the holes visible?
Here, which is the correct method for kill yourself results. And she got pretty far into it too, so I don't know how the fuck she did any of the upcoming shit without dying or bleeding out. But I'm gonna chalk that up to adrenaline and whatnot, because we got worse bullshit coming up. So she's stabby, suit glitching out now. Guard comes in, Adrian fights guard. She tries to escape. He fights another guard, then another guard, another guard. Suit's still glitching out in very convenient moments for Adrian. Also, none of the holes she made by stabbing him are visible, somehow also invisible, although she just fucking made holes. He's supposed to be bleeding and shit, whatever. Fuck that. Another guard comes, and right here he takes his sweet ass time to taunt him and goes bang sarcastically, then walks away and shoots him in the back. And this goes on for like a good chunk of time, okay? Meanwhile, what do you think Kiki's doing?
Bro, I hate shit like this. I hate stuff like this in movies and anime and stuff where the character is just on the ground. Look, there's guards right there. Like, take a baton or something from one of them and run over and whack him, or just get up and run away, right? Like, you're just lying there observing the situation while everything goes on. Like, what? What are you doing?
She's sitting on all fours as if she's on the set of a porno about to do her first anal scene, with a gun literally within reaching distance of her hand, and she only goes for it once he drops the gun and she no longer has a clear shot on him. This bitch's idiocy is fucking boundless. My guy, holy shit. She follows him out into the rain. More guards are coming now. She makes it to the car where he runs the suit, I guess. And just take a look at this shit right here, okay? Her arms extended under the trunk of the car. She's scanning for him with the gun, right, waiting for the suit to glitch. And next shot, we got him standing directly in front of her underneath the trunk of the car as well. So I ask you this, how the fuck does she not bump into her with her arm? Whatever, who cares? Because he chokes her and pins her up against an ambulance and tells her that he's gonna kill Sydney, and then shoots a guard and walks over to him real slow and kicks the gun away. Once again, a very opportune moment to at least tackle the fucker, but no, this dunce still standing there behind the fucking ambulance. Whatever, bro, let's just keep going. He gets in a car and goes to James's house. She gets in a car, goes to James's house and calls James, tells him that his daughter is in danger. Invisidude gets the kidney, but kidney's spidey sense is tingling, and she uses pepper spray on him, and then he starts choking her. Then James arrives, dad to the rescue. He finds his daughter.
Wait, pepper spray gets into the suit? I mean, well, he has to breathe, so there has to be some type of, like, hole or something. But how isn't that visible? What?
Are being choked, and he gets beat up real good, okay, for a good chunk of time as well. Meanwhile, Kidney watches and screams as her dad gets fucking beat half to death.
Yeah,
you tell me you're not even gonna fucking attempt to save your dad here? Oh, I'm sure he'll stop now since you said it so nicely. What the fuck is wrong with women in this movie? God damn it. Whatever. Kiki arrives with fire extinguisher.
She's a kid, bro. Like, come on. Kids are dumb automatically. You know, she's like a teenager. Most of them only know to sit down and scream help and stop in those situations. So you can't really be mad at her, man.
you know, reveals him, then shoots him in the fucking chest. He dies, and she reveals that it
so
is
fucking
Michael,
dumb.
his brother, or Tom. His name is Tom. What a twist. Who would have seen that coming? Oh my god. The police raid Adrian's house and find him in the basement, tied up and beaten up. And he tells the cops that his brother was up to all of this and he controlled him and made him do all this stuff. But Kiki be like, no, he did it. I know it. But they can't catch him because his story checks out and they ain't got no evidence. So she goes over to have
Bullshit.
dinner with him. Wow, now that I see his face, he is super punchable. Anyway, they sit down to eat in the suit and he was invisible and he was fucking with her and all that shit. And she wants him to say that stuff because she's wearing a wire, and James is outside in his cop car listening into this shit because they want proof to get him behind bars and shit, okay? But he proclaims innocence and retardation and ignorance to what the fuck just happened. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not lying. I didn't do anything, all that stuff. What are you talking about? Acting all stupid and shit. And she starts crying and be like, okay, I'm gonna excuse myself and go clean myself up in the bathroom. And she comes back in the invisibility suit and somehow overpowers him to make it look like he slit his
Bro, all right.
own throat and in the bathroom. And she
Look at
comes
this.
back in
Look
the
at this,
invisibility
right? This was so fucking dumb to me, right? I'm like, how are you forcing this guy to not only grab a knife, but also keep his other arm pinned down? He's not resisting with his other arm either. So is she like over him from the back and she's like pinning this arm down and grabbing his wrist? And then also, how is she physically overpowering him?
suit and somehow overpowers him to make it look like he slit his own throat. Then goes back to the bathroom, puts on the dress, and comes back acting all surprised that he fucked.
And then you would think that because he made the suit and he knows what's happening to him, he would shout like, no, stop, you can't do this, or something like that, right? You know, he would... Bro, this fucking movie, man.
Fucking killed himself and calls the 911 like, oh my god, somebody come over here, tried to kill himself, blah, blah, blah. But how the fuck
then she
did
has
she do
her
it so
boss
fast,
bitch
yo? Because
moment.
to be honest, she came back way too quick to be able to catch him still bleeding out, especially considering that she has to get out of a full bodysuit and into this tight ass dress. Also, dumbass Adrian still doesn't know about the whole secret event and his missing tech. What a retard. Moving on. She pretends to be concerned and calls 911, then goes out of shot from his security cameras and says, surprise, motherfucking bitch. Then James catches her leaving like, what happened? He killed himself. And he sees the suit in her bag and she like, hey, look at me, look into my eyes. I'm the captain now. This is the way. He killed himself. Of course, queen. Of course, he killed himself. Yes, queen. And she walks away home free of stalkers and brain cells too. This movie gets 7 coconuts out of 3,758 peanuts.
When I first watched this movie, I was like 5 out of 10. I'm gonna just be straight with you all. It wasn't anything special, and there was so much dumb shit in it. Like, I had to... The only time I ever enjoyed this movie was when I had like a piece of brownie, you know, like... But anyway, I enjoyed the movie a lot more because of that, and even then, I wasn't impressed or blown away. I've been seeing people online like saying it's a masterpiece and stuff like that, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? But anyway, tell me what you all thought about this movie. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was a masterpiece? Right? If so, I think you should get yourself checked out, because it definitely is not. Right? The acting in the movie was good. The chick, she did a really good job of acting distressed and someone under like constant threat and chaos and whatnot. Like, she did a really good job of acting her role, but they could have got so many things better in the movie, and it would have made it so much better. But anyway, right, tell me if you all like the video, if you all want to see me do more stuff like this, looking at stuff on Highboy's channel. I actually really like his content, and actually, regardless of if you all want me to do more or not, I'm still gonna do it because it's my fucking channel and I'm gonna do what I want. But anyway, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Have a good day, enjoy your old years into New Year's, and yeah, later.